Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about knee pain. I know it's a hot topic. We have several videos on it, and that's because a lot of people struggle with it, and there are many ways that we can do things to mitigate it and also to help prevent it and possibly even get rid of it for good. So today we are going to be challenging the prevailing wisdom on a specific knee alignment cue and give you recommendations for 2 exercises that will help you develop strength, stability, and control so that you can begin to mitigate or even banish your knee pain. So I just want to say, as we get out there and we study for years and years, I'm Janine, I'm from Win with Yoga. I've been teaching for over 2 decades. The guy behind the camera, Kirk, is the other half of the Win with Yoga team. We've both been teaching for over 20 years, and you get sweeping wisdom as you go from training to training across industries, from fitness to yoga to specific sport-specific coaching. You hear sweeping wisdom, and sometimes what you find out is, as you're searching for new ways to relieve pain in our bodies and kind of bulletproof ourselves for the future, is that some of those common, almost dogmatic methodologies turn out to be not as awesome as you thought they were, and actually can contribute to keeping us in pain. So today, we are going to talk about this cue that you might have heard, you may have even heard it from myself, is that the knees should not go past the toes when we're doing something like a squat or a lunge. And the prevailing wisdom is that. And what you're going to actually find out, and I've been enlightened to a lot of this from a guy named Ben Patrick, who's the Knees Over Toes guys, also here on YouTube. Check him out. I started looking at his stuff several months ago and was really inspired and got me thinking about how many times our knees actually go over our toes and should go over our toes on regular, everyday movements. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about whenever you go up a step, your knees go past your toes to get up there. Anytime you go down a step, your knees go over your toes to get you down. If I'm running, when I land my run, my knees are over my toes. If I'm going to jump, my knees go over my toes. I'm going down an incline, my knees are going over my toes. I'm getting up out of a chair. Can't get up with my feet forward in front of my knees. Got to bring them in. Knees go over our toes. You see what I mean? Bending down at the grocery store to get something down off a bottom shelf, your knees go in front of your toes. So the sweeping wisdom isn't lining up with or preparing us for the actual movements that we're making on an everyday basis. So how can we start to help people safely do these movements and prepare them in a really logical way? And that's what we're going to start with today. So starting with the lower leg, which is often neglected in training, we often focus on the feet. You can check out almost any of our videos. We'll always be talking about the feet if the position is standing. And in our series about the knees, is that knee pain really coming from my knee? We talk about how the feet are the basis for alignment. And that is going to come true today as I talk about these in the lower leg. Good alignment in the feet, and then we're talking about our ankles, our shin, and our calf muscles. So I'm just going to break down these muscles, what they're helping us do, and then I'm going to give you 2 so simple exercises right after that so that you can employ it and start feeling better in your body. So you got your feet, you got your ankle, you got your shin. The shin muscle here, the main guy is the tibialis anterior. It's the fleshy one. If you put your hand kind of just below the knee on that fleshy part and pull your toes up, you're going to feel it flex or engage. That's what it does. It's the primary dorsiflexor, as we call it, or flexes your foot, brings your toes towards your lower leg. So this muscle is responsible for when you're walking, it actually, we don't even think about it. Your toes pull up into a flex as they step through so that they can clear the ground. If they didn't do that, if that muscle isn't working properly, our toes are down, you can catch your toes and trip and fall. So really important muscle to kick in is that tibialis anterior, that shin muscle. It's also going to help with ankle mobility and flexion. If the knee is forward or just pulling it up is going to help get strength and mobility for the ankle. the muscle itself actually goes down, turns into a tendon, and comes around and wraps underneath the arch of your foot. So as you're training this muscle, you're also lifting the arch. And if we all had perfect arches, there wouldn't be something called orthotics. Because orthotics are often given because the arches are collapsing, right? We pronate, this falls in. So now if we start to train this muscle, we're going to be lifting here and helping out in the arch and building a nice, strong foundation through our feet. And feet are super important because think about how much you're on them every single day. In addition to that, as if there could be more benefits, this starting to work this muscle is going to start to increase blood flow, not only to the lower leg, but it helps the venous return to the heart, so we're helping our circulation all the way through our body. Now on the other side of the lower leg, we have our calves, and they're going to do the exact opposite function. The front of the shin is going to flex the foot, the calf is going to point the foot, or lift the heel. So these muscles in the back are going to be involved in anything that has to push us or propel us forwards or up. So walking, running, jumping, all of that. As you go up here, we often think about the front leg, but the back leg is pushing, so you're pushing through that calf to lift you up as well. Again, you're going to increase blood flow there. When you're flexing this muscle in the front, the back is stretching, which is all going to contribute to better ankle mobility, which allows us what? If my calf's tight, I can only go to here. If I start strengthening my shin, which is also going to start stretching the calf, right? They work in tandem. You don't have to do two separate things. We start to get more flexion in the ankle because we're doing both at the same time. So this is how we strengthen and stretch at the same time. So what can we do to continue to strengthen these guys so these regular everyday movements become easier and you're safe while you start to build up to them? Very simply, toe raises and heel raises, which you've probably done both before. I know they weren't consistent in my routine. They are now. I do them once a week. Now, I have other things in my training that supplement that, but the reason I'm telling you that I do them once a week is because you don't need to work out like a maniac. You don't have to kill yourself and do something every single day for a long period of time to start to improve your quality of life. I would recommend these exercises 2 to 3 times a week, and they're literally going to take you like 5 minutes. So toe raises is literally lifting your toes. So you would go against a wall, bring your feet 6 inches or so away from the wall, line your back up, nice strong straight legs, lift your toes up, lower them down. Lift your toes up, lower them down. That is the exercise. You're shooting to get up to 20 reps with that. Now, start with 10 and build as you go. And if it's easy and you get to 20 right away, just walk your feet a little farther away from the wall, and this is going to make it more challenging. So the closer they are in, the easier. The farther you walk them away, you're going to start to build that challenge. If you got them way out there, and you had it for 20, you could always try it on one leg. I don't even think you're going to need to go there because as you start doing these with your feet out far from the wall, you're going to feel how you really feel that muscle work and it starts to burn. That's okay, having it burn. Do as many as you can and then just keep building over time, okay? You can do them in shoes. You can do them barefoot like I am today, so you can have your shoes on and getting ready for your walk and stand against a wall and do them right outside. Now you're going to alternate those with your heel raises, which you've probably also done. And these are more popular, I find, than the toe raises. The toe raises really kind of get left out in the whole fitness world and training. So really important to start doing those. And then heel raises is simply that, and lowering down, and raising them up, and lowering them down. You can be holding on to something. You can be at the wall like I am. I'm doing it this way so you can see me. Again, we're going to try and keep our legs nice and straight here and raise them up. Go for 10. Eventually you want to build to 20. 10's too much. Go to 5. Start at 5, 10, 15, 20. Once you have it on 2 feet, you can go to 1 foot. And then you can also graduate up to a chair, a step. So you could simply be on your steps or stairs at your house, hold on to the railing or banister. Now you can see my heels can go down a little further, so we're getting a little more length through that calf, a stretch. And now we can press up, so we're getting a greater range of motion there. And then we lower down and press up. And notice I'm lowering down, I'm not dropping down. So as that muscle in the back, the calf, is lengthening, we're still going to keep some tension in it. It's called an eccentric contraction. What it means is the muscle is stretching out, but we're still contracting it. So we develop control. So as we're getting the stretch and that ankle, a little more ankle flexion there, you're also starting to build strength. You get a little further down. Now you have a longer way to go up. So we're developing strength and mobility all at the same time. That's the key. The progression would be the same. Floor, 2 feet, 1 foot, then you could come up onto a step, and then you could go to 1 foot. Once you got that, you could even add a hand weight once you got to 20 on each leg. So lots of places to build. One last thing I'll tell you, these are kind of cool. If you really want to work for the knees over the toes, bend your knees. This will focus a little bit more on your soleus muscle. It's one of your calf muscles. You don't even need to know that. Knees a little bit in front of your toes. Now just raise the heels up here and lower them down and raising up. And now see you're drilling that in a really, really accessible way of knee over toes. So your body is starting to adjust. You're developing that strength. You're developing the mobility and the flexibility you need all in one fell swoop. Got it? All right, so I hope this helps. To summarize, heel raises and toe raises, you would alternate toe raises, heel raises, toe raises, heel raises, toe raises, heel raises. Do it 3 times through. You're shooting to try and get 20 reps each time. Do what you can, build over time. I gave you the progressions, doing 2 to 3 times a week. And now you're off and ready to start getting that lower body more durable, and you can build on it. I would suggest doing these before you walk, before you run, before you hike. If you're gonna go play tennis, if you're gonna be walking on the golf course, whatever your activity might be, literally give yourself 5 minutes, get the blood flow going in those lower limbs, get them ready to do what you want them to do, and you can prevent injuries, you can prevent pain, and start to rehab any injuries that you have. So I hope this is helpful for you today. Go ahead and let us know. You can leave a comment, you can ask a question down in the comment area, and we will see you real soon. If you feel like the everyday aches and pains of getting older are preventing you from fully enjoying life, then I'd love to introduce you to something that will help make you feel better than you have in years. Fit and Flexible for Life is a program I created of 10-minute-a-day routines that you'll actually do. They're for women in their 50s and 60s who are ready to get their strength, stamina, and balance back, even if you're not limber or have previous injuries. Fit and Flexible for Life has easy-to-follow routines to help reduce pain. You don't need any equipment. Like I said, they're only 10 minutes, so they can fit into any lifestyle. A new you in 30-day plan, plus a ton more. If you want to check it out, just hop over to fitandflexibleforlife.com, and I will also leave that link in the comments below.